welcome to the Living in Coastal Virginia YouTube channel. I don't know, I like those vibes, Sean. I was kind of jamming to that, getting going. Thank you. If it's the first time you're tuning in, this is the Living in Coastal Virginia YouTube channel. If you're on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, any of the other channels, welcome. We do this every other Tuesday where we talk about living in Coastal Virginia vibe. What's going on here? What's the market doing? What's fun to do? What's a listing tour? I mean, we talked to a stager. We talked to my broker with 35 years of experience a couple weeks back. Today, we're going to talk about, have you been to Norfolk and what is there to do in Norfolk? What's the fun things to do in Norfolk? We got a couple different scenarios or categories to explore. Before we do that, we always do a local libations. Today, I'm already halfway through. Already halfway through my Larchmont Lager here. So Larchmont Lager is from the brewery literally down the street from me. There's Larchmont Lager right there. Boom, by Elation Brewing Company. I always go the wrong direction. Larchmont happens to be a neighborhood in Norfolk, and they named a beer after it. And it's delightful. It's very light, German-style Pilsner. Probably my favorite. Larchmont Light, I actually like a little bit more because I've got my old man tummies, and I have to deal with that. Sean, what do you think over there? I'm actually...
Oh, where's that?
All right, there we go.
I actually am having the new one. That's Amore.
That's Amore,
which is an Italian Pilsner that they just added. So they don't even have canned yet. Courtesies of your wife.
All right, very good. Yeah, she had texted me and said, "Hey, do you need anything for tonight?" And went out and got me a beer. All right, so that's going to be our libation tonight. It's very delightful. Go check out Elation 1. They have a fantastic bar area. They host live music. They do trivia. There's lots of local nonprofits. They even have artist vendors that come there on occasion. Right next door is Voyager Coffee. Across the street is Lolly's Ice Cream. Great little place for people to go and check out. All right, let's go ahead and just dive right into what is there fun to do in Norfolk. If you came here and you're not from here, you're looking for a bunch of things to do. So we're going to go ahead and, Sean, if you'll go over to the screen over here. All right, we up?
We are up.
Sweet. All right. So 4 things for you to check out first is going to be some outdoor adventures. See, these are the things that get filtered out and edited out on the polished material on YouTube. We call them Danisms because my brain moves faster than my mouth and I mix words all the time. So if you are just tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. We have had people from all over the world move here. About 30% of our business came from YouTube, and majority of that is actually, I'd say about 80% of that is people that are relocating to the area. About 20% of that 30%, if you're following the math there, are people that live local who just tune in and pay attention. All right, so four things I think you should definitely pay attention to if you're coming here to Norfolk. First and foremost is going to be Norfolk Botanical Garden. Let me pull up this website here real quick. Now, I love this place, Sean. I think it is a fantastic place to take your family. They have a splash pad for the kids. They've got the butterfly garden. I think on Sundays during the summer, they have dog days where you can take your dog and go for a walk. It's enormous, and you can get a lot of, if you need to go out, I've been using my Apple Watch to get my steps in, make sure I get my steps in. And this is a great place to go do it. If you're a fan of landscaping and outdoor kind of design, this is absolutely fantastic. They also have, just for your knowledge, they have a whole bunch of education. So if you want to learn how to build a birdhouse, if you want to learn how to do your own gardening, they have a lot of cool stuff here. Very, very reasonable on cost. I think we still have our yearly membership. I would absolutely consider this. Sean, do you take your kiddo, Mr. Connor, over there on the regular?
We have not actually gone to the gardens with him yet, but we will need to for sure.
Yeah, I've gone to 2 weddings there, and they were just gorgeous. Yeah, there you go. Dog days on Sunday.
We've been to the Christmas lights there.
Okay, yeah, we've done that a couple times. Next up is going to be Elizabeth River Trail. All right, now this is there you go, 10.5 mile trail that goes through Norfolk, and some of it is absolutely gorgeous. It goes along the river. Go figure. It's called Elizabeth River Trail.
All of it is absolutely gorgeous.
There are some sections that aren't that pretty.
That's true.
But the section that goes through downtown, the section that goes along the Freemason area, the section that goes behind Ghent is fantastic. So if you're a runner and you need a really good route to go on, it's a wide enough trail that you can get bikes and take dogs on. A lot of the locals use this, and it's absolutely something that you should check out.
I don't think I've actually done the whole thing, so
I've lived here for almost 20 years, and I have not either.
Yeah, it's got a lot to see.
I've probably done about 5 miles on a bike.
Yeah, most of it in the Freemason area right by Wisconsin, which, spoiler alert, will be coming up later.
Yeah, that's the most beautiful area for sure. All right, roll on to the next one here. By the way, feel free to snapshot some of these websites, or you can just take notes. Kayaking in the Lafayette River. Sean, you done some kayaking?
I have. We actually did an interview with this website.
Mr. Josh Copland, man, he owns Norfolk Kayak Rentals. So Josh, there's my boy Josh. He owns this business, and you can go out and kayak here on the river. I want to say if you can get yourself a spot where you can watch a sunset, this is a great date night type thing. If you're outdoorsy, love to be outside, bring some mosquito spray. Just in case there are some areas where mosquitoes are not very friendly. If you get out there on the water, you should be fine. Dragonflies are pretty great at keeping those at bay. But the river is gorgeous, and especially if it was me, I probably wouldn't do it during the summer. It's hot. Summers here in Virginia are oppressive, and so I would encourage you to go during the fall. I think fall. There's no better season in Virginia. Fall by far is the best season, hands down, end of sentence. Spring's pretty good too, but you get some pretty nasty thunderstorms, and you got pollen.
But foliage in the fall. In the fall, you get the foliage. So.
Yeah, foliage is just absolutely gorgeous. I would say there's like a month and a half season of time where you're basically, dips into maybe the low 50s, but really probably up 50s, lower 60s in the evenings, and a high of like maybe mid 70s. And for the most part, the humidity tends to stay at bay, and it's just
it's that relief after summer. Like right now, we're feeling that humidity, and I can't wait until fall nights come.
Yeah, it's so good. It really is. And this is just I would recommend trying to push this during that season. They also Josh also does some eco tours, or he'll take you out on a tour if you want to do that, or you can just rent it for a period of time. So next up is going to be you have Outdoor Adventures in the Glass Studio.
Yeah, it's kind of an outdoor. I don't know why that popped up.
That's all right. Well, we're gonna roll with it and pretend like it was meant to be that way. All right. So Chrysler Museum of Art, not really outside. So just deal with us or let's get rid of that. For those who don't know, Norfolk is one of the largest collections of glass art in the world. And that may sound super nerdy and not cool to you, but for those who are into it, they are heavy into, this is so cool. So they have stuff like that. You can go watch this. You can watch them do this live. And this is a really cool experience. If even if you're not going to do it, or you're not going to take a class, which they do classes, you can actually go watch them do this. Have you ever done this, Sean?
I have not. Have you done it?
It's amazing.
I watched the TikTok videos, but we have it here locally.
Yeah, it's super cool. There is I feel like in some ways, you ever watch somebody who's really good at plaster, and you're like, I don't understand how they do it so perfect and flat. And I try to get up there, and I'm going back and forth, and it looks like hot garbage. This is how to me it feels like watching somebody do glass art who's been doing it for a while and knows what they're doing. It's just pretty incredible what they can do and pull off. All right, let's roll on to the next one here. Cultural. All right, so there's a lot to this. One, the Nauticus and Battleship, Wisconsin. So if you don't know about Norfolk, we have a really strong military presence here. And you have a museum. Well, I guess it's technically, two museums, but the battleship itself has been turned into a museum, and you can actually go on this old battleship, and this is decommissioned. It was actually used. And it's you can get a sense of what it maybe felt to be as a sailor on a battleship like that. I've gone once. I was in the Navy. To me, it's boring because, one of the few sailors or Navy guys who was never on a ship. I was in helicopters only. Two, then you've got the museum here, and this is can be kind of fun for kids because it's exploring not just the Navy, but it's also exploring like the waterways and the wildlife and that type of stuff. So this is also a really good one to take the kids out to. Next up, Hermitage Museum and Gardens. All right, Sean, I'm gonna have to admit I've never been here. Have you been here?
So we've highlighted it as a house that was near the Hermitage.
Okay.
I've not actually been inside of there, but I have like toured the outside, getting drone footage and stuff. So I have not been in there now.
All right. Well, here you go. So a couple things that are coming up. We have the Claudia Bueno Echoes of the Heart. It looks to me like they're using the tubes. I'm not sure I am not a medical doctor, so I'm not going to try to do this. But anyway, so Born in Venezuela creates stunning interactive worlds called forth in the most intimate foundational emotions, giving you the seamlessly limited space to watch them fully bloom. It looks like to me that they're doing like the heart. They have a lot of art displays here, and I don't know, it's worth checking out. Everyone that I know that has gone says it's worth looking at. Just not my jam, not my cup of tea. So I feel bad saying that because I could probably walk there in 15 minutes. All right, Neon District. Now, here's what I like about the Neon District. If you're into kind of the hip culture, if you're looking at modern art, modern music, you want to get a pulse of what's going on in Norfolk and what's happening in the most diverse section, this is where you go. They have the Neon Festival. The Commune is here, the restaurant, which is absolutely fantastic. They have a comedy club in this area. If you have not been to the Neon District, this is probably going to be more for the adults. I think they also have a couple clubs and places to go out. There you go. There's a map right here. So Neon District right here. You're right here, just south east of Ghent. And they have a bunch of restaurants and things to do in here. A bunch of small businesses. Bob's Gun Shop is in there. Probably one of the most popular places to go.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is that I at least know of the Neon District is all of the murals that have been done by local artists there.
Oh, good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So let me go over here to see if we can pull up a little bit here. There you go. Yeah, so lots of public art. Not only these murals right here. This is what Sean's talking about. New Energy Norfolk. Things on like the signs, and they've got random art painted here on the wall here, and they've gone through and commissioned people and allowed them to just build out really cool stuff. I think it's really neat. I probably walk through here or drive through here 3 times a week.
Yeah.
All right. Next. I skipped the neon
Okay.
and went there. Yep. My bad. All right. Selden Market. So this is right next to the library. And it's right in this, you go down the center. What is that guy's name in
Leatherman or Leather?
I am going to feel bad because that's the leathersmith. Well, one, you've got some lingerie going on in there. Everybody loves some, this is like a candle and scent place. What is this name? It starts with a W. I'm going to think of it here. There you go. Werther Leather Goods.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not Aaron. It's, I'm feeling bad. I'm forgetting his name. He has a great TikTok channel where he like shows off his actually craftsman skills, and you can see how his bags and leather goods are made. Everything in here is handmade. It's just got a bunch of really cool little bespoke shops in here if you want to check it out. Right next door is Stockpot, and then you have the library and a whole bunch of other places going on. But this is just a really cool, if you're going to go downtown, this is a really cool spot. And then probably a block away is a spot where you can rent electric bikes if you want to kind of like tour the whole downtown. It makes it really easy to go around. And Norfolk City has put a big emphasis on making those streets bike friendly. So they've made it so that it's really easy to go around, and there's a whole bike line and everything. Yep, bike lane and everything.
Or sorry, Derek.
Derek.
Shaw.
Felt terrible. I knew his name. All right, moving on. Whoops. Press the wrong button. Oh, no, I did. Okay. All right. Next up, Virginia Zoo. Now, Virginia Zoo is actually, in my opinion, I think it's pretty daggone good. We're not, I wouldn't say known for our zoo, but I've been to, I don't know, a dozen of them, and I still enjoy going. Sometimes I kind of like it.
Tigers.
They do. They get tigers, they got elephants, they got giraffes, you got all kinds of good stuff. I love the zoo. Not only that, sometimes they'll do concerts. They have movie nights for kids. They'll have special events where they have like animals that come in and they'll do stuff like that. They've got
wine festival things where you kind of drink around the area.
They have an adults night where you can go around and buy drinks and walk around. I think our zoo is really cool. I might be a weird nerd, but I think that is really neat.
And a special shout out right outside the zoo there is not the best disc golf course, but it's a great one if you just need a quick round.
Well, it's free.
It's free.
Free 99 is always helpful. So if you're into disc golf, there's a really good disc golf course literally right outside of it. I haven't played disc golf in a long time. I actually probably played more regular golf than disc golf, but but it's a great free course and it's worthwhile. All right. Right next up, now this isn't technically Norfolk. So this is Portsmouth, but it's really, really close. The Children's Museum of Virginia. Yeah, you could take the ferry over, but it's over in Portsmouth. I've probably been here 3 or 4 times with my kids. I mean, who doesn't love these things? When I go to the Children's Museum, Sean, I'm like a giant child.
Okay, what's the number one thing?
This thing is so cool, man.
To me, it's the static electricity ball thing.
Those are pretty cool. Yeah, I also like the one where you're.
In your hands.
Yeah, that one's neat. Just as a quick note, I did this with Ethan when he was itty bitty and he farted in it. So it was pretty funny. It was not the most pleasant experience in that. He was also terrified of it at the beginning because he was like, "What is happening? Why are we getting encased?" I had to like pop it and show him that it was poppable for him to be okay with it. But this is a really cool spot if you want to expose your kids to some early STEM stuff, science, technology, engineering, and what's M stand for? Mathematics. This is a great place to go. And then they also have, just like many of these places, they have events and special things going on. And they also cater to special needs children. So fantastic option. Norfolk Tides. Now I might hurt some feelings here.
Not gonna hurt my feelings.
I say that I will go to a baseball game, Sean. I don't mind going to a baseball game, but I find baseball dreadfully boring. And I say this as I have 2 friends, one that played in college, where you're going to lose some clients. Yeah, for sure.
We both are going to just dog on baseball.
It's just, unless there's beer and hot dogs or you're in a suite.
Which there is.
Yeah. Like I said, if someone invites me, I'll go and I'll hang out and just be, friendly. But it's like, hey, do you want to go to the Tides game, or do you like in the middle of you saying, or do you? I'm probably saying, yeah, the second thing. So But that being said, they're not bad. They're not a bad team. It's a decent stadium. They keep it clean. They have decent food. Like it's a decent venue. So if you're into baseball, or if you like sports of any kind, because we don't have any major league sports here, you have the Norfolk Tides and then you have the Norfolk Admirals, which is for hockey.
We're in dog 2 in a row here. We got our next one.
That's okay. I see a comment there, Mr. Sean. Is that?
It's just me asking for people to say hi.
Okay.
Give us their fun things. If you're
Gotcha.
out there watching, out of the people that are out there, feel free to drop in one of your favorites or ask me questions about these.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sean, I feel like you put this in here to drive some controversy. Now, it's been in dive-ins and diners. It is a Norfolk staple for sure. Like you can't ignore that Dumars is a staple. I think they are overrated heavily.
I agree.
I think that it is a diner and you get the dine-in experience, but like one of my close friends who will remain nameless thinks that they have a great barbecue sandwich, and I will disagree. It is not my cup of tea. But it's not bad. It's not like garbage. It's
well priced. I mean, if it was super expensive, it would be even worse. But it's super cheap.
Fair price, consistent.
They'll come out on roller skates.
Yep. You get the full dining experience. They claim to have created the world's cone machine, the waffle cone, that is contested in some capacity, but they do have the claimed first machine there. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go watch the dine-in episode. But I would say when I first moved here to Norfolk and I was making friends with a lot of locals, I probably had to go here a good 2 or 3 dozen times because that's just where people went. It was just something they did.
Sunday after church, hit up Dumar's. My sister and her bacon grilled cheese sandwich.
Again, just okay. All right. If you're looking for a little bit of nightlife, if you're looking for a place to go eat, there are a couple different options I would highly recommend. First up is Waterside District, right next to is it Town Point Park? Is that was
Yeah, I was gonna say a little plug if you want to hop back to another one of our older streams. We do go through a bunch of top restaurants, so this is just a little small taste. We tried to cover some of the ones we didn't.
Yep, I'll try to quickly go through some of these. At Waterside itself, Waterside itself, you can see it on our YouTube channel. I think we have a specific drone tour of this area. If you have a boat and you have the ability to boat, you can boat up here and literally park and go shop and do some eating. You can, there is live music here all the time. There are events here all the time. Right next to the park is a great spot to go see concerts. A great spot to go to Norfolk Harbor Fest.
Say you can hit a couple of fun things here. You can do the Elizabeth River Trail, Nauticus, Wisconsin, and then Waterside, all within like a mile walk.
Yeah, and some really good restaurants. If you want some of the highest end restaurants, it's all downtown Norfolk for the most part. And this is where I would potentially point you. And you're on the water. It's a really good spot. Probably the best spot is not for a view. Is probably the main. Grain at top of the main. Yeah. That's their view is exceptional. All right, Collie restaurants. So the reason we have this up here is because if you look on a map, this right here, this street right here, which starts off as Jamestown Crescent, it turns into Collie and goes all the way down to Ghent and dumps onto Brambleton. And you have North Collie and South Collie, and very similar vibes in both. I would say North Collie in the last couple of years has really been built out a lot, and it's continuing to be built out. There's a lot of development happening in here. Our goodness words. Our old office was right here. We're now down at the ocean front. For those who are needing some context, Elation is right there in North Collie. Our drink of choice this evening. Our new office actually is all the way out here at Virginia Beach, so some distance. I don't live too far away from here, and you've got Dirty Buffalo is absolutely fantastic if you want some New York style wings. Max Barge is a really favorite with the locals when it comes to like po' boy sandwiches and some seafood. Coach House Bar and Grill is a little bit of a high end dining experience. Right next to that, you've got Elation, and they have a bakehouse in here that has some absolutely fantastic pizzas. Lolly's Ice Cream just went in right here, which is kind of like a boutique ice cream shop. If you go down to South Collie, this is a little bit older and is a little bit more developed. You have a whole lot of options in here, including one of my absolute favorites. Let's see if I can find it. Right there, Chipotle Mexican Grill. So I feel bad, not necessarily picking
It sounds like a joke, but he's not kidding.
I love Chipotle. Actually, my favorite recently, Sean, has been Kava.
Okay.
It's I call it the Mediterranean Chipotle.
Yeah.
It is so good. So good. All right, Peck and Pour, another great wing place. Tacos. There are a ton of great options in here. Pendulum Fine Meats. Here's a butcher right here. If you're looking at moving to the area and you want walkability and the ability to go get like a haircut, go to the grocery store, hit up restaurants, have some nightlife, have old architecture, you want to live basically in Ghent. And then you'll somewhere in this area, and it'll allow you to have access to so much stuff within walking distance or biking distance. You could probably get away with not having a car or only taking a car when you had to do trips. So I know a lot of people.
Sorry.
All right, next. Interesting, you put the Birch Bar in here, Sean. I'm curious, Sean, why did you put the Birch Bar in here? Why don't you roll through the Birch Bar?
So the Birch Bar, it's more to highlight that whole Chelsea area. I think Torch is great down there. The Birch Bar is just one of the options. Maybe Dan will pull up the map on kind of all these options down there. But it's a nice little like bakery down in there, but also a bar is right next to it. Actually, I think the bakehouse is what's right next to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bakehouse right next to it, and then Birch Bar.
Yeah, they have really good sourdough.
Or Pax is there. I just think that whole Chelsea area is a fantastic option.
Yeah, this is a pretty I'm sound like such an old person. This is such a hip, cool area. It is. This I've went in as a younger man, and I was staying out late, maybe doing things I shouldn't have been doing, or having a good time. I spent a lot of time in this area, staying out late and having fun. You got a couple of breweries, and if anything, actually, I would say this area has continued to develop, continued to become more and more popular. Like Orpax Restaurant, another one of those places, like it's a Mediterranean place. It's been there for years and years and years and years. Super local. I mean, there you go. 1,769 reviews at 4.6. I took some friends of mine that were in town there. But this is a great spot.
Great brewery. Smart Mouth is down there. Mm-hmm. Is Bench Top there?
Yep, Bench Top is there. Torch Bistro. They have some good cornhole boards and some outdoor fire pits. I really like this area, and if you want, there's a local bake shop in here that does local bread. I think it's really. I don't need another one, Sean. Thank you.
You want half one?
Maybe, yeah. But this, if you're looking at making a move to Norfolk, like I said, Ghent, West Ghent Square. This area is incredibly popular. There's a whole bunch of shopping and eating here along 21st Street as well. But you've just got so many options in that area. Sorry, I'm trying to hold back a sneeze there for a second. Don't sneeze.
Next can be the Mermaid Winery, which is also in Virginia Beach. But I've been to Virginia Beach one. I have not been to the Norfolk one, to be honest with you.
I've not been to the Norfolk one either, but it's owned by the same people, and they do some of their own wine. The other one that we have here locally, and I'll just mention it, is Waterside? Waterside Winery.
I didn't know we had another one.
It's right over here where the old Taste was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really close.
Oh,
close
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. For the bridge there.
Yep, and they do high-end dining there as well. So I mean, here you get a sense of the place that you're looking at going. I have a couple of friends. This is kind of like their regular spot. They go there all the time. The other one I have a couple friends that go to is what's the oyster place?
In Norfolk.
Mm-hmm. Is it CP?
No, CP's in Virginia Beach.
I know what you're
talking. I'll look it up.
I'll think of it here in a second. That's another really, really popular place. All right, I'm spending too much time on here. I'm going to kind of bounce on. All right, entertainment and nightlife. A couple of our AW truckers. So I would say if you're looking at nightlife, I don't think there is a city that can match it other than Virginia Beach, like the Strip, especially during the summertime. Because if you're looking for a massive crowds and entertainment and you'll get some street vendors where they're out there doing street magic and that type of thing, which is super cool. But you have to be okay with a lot of tourists. Whereas I feel like Norfolk is mostly locals, meaning Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, everybody that's coming from the surrounding area is coming in for that nightlife. They're going to the Scope for Kevin Hart came in and performed at the Scope. Jim Gaffigan, who I went to go see, went to the Scope. The Admirals play at the Scope. If someone's coming in the area,
great for sports, not for concerts. I'll give you that heads up. We're gonna hit a concert venue that's much better. But
I think it's not bad for concerts. The sound is not
indoor. It's hard.
It's hard to pull off. But there's been quite a few big names that have played there. The Scope is a great place to be. That's downtown Norfolk. I don't need to pull up. Actually, one of Sean's best drone shots is of the Scope. I don't know if you can.
Funny if they just had it on their page.
If they stole our shot, that'd be hilarious. But they have a ton of stuff going on at the Scope. For some reason, it's not loading. That's okay. So that's a really cool place. It looks like a huge dome, concrete dome. And if you're looking for comedians and musicians and that type of thing, that's probably where they're going to end up playing. Next is going to be the Norva. Is this what you're going to say?
This is my spot here.
This is, well, you cover this one, Sean.
Okay, so the Norva is the best venue in all of Hampton Roads for smaller bands, for like a rock band. You want a good indoor.
Didn't we go see Mute Math there?
I did not actually. I was not.
Switchfoot's played there.
Switchfoot will be there October 14th. I'm not sure when you're watching this, but the best band on earth will be playing. I've seen them for the 28th time.
28th?
Yes.
Holy cow, Sean.
Actually, it might be 30 when I can see them at the Norva. But Norva's awesome for. I think they don't only have just rock bands. They do
they do emo night.
Yeah, they do cover bands, and my sister's been to. They do Bee Gees cover band or something, or ABBA was one she went to. They do all sorts of fun events there. And it's just that kind of more intimate vibe, and the sound is fantastic. If you want an actual venue where you need it.
I've done, I want to say 6 or 7 there, and I would agree with you. The acoustics there are pretty phenomenal.
Chevelle there.
I saw not Rivers and Roads is their song. What am I thinking of? Head in the Heart. I saw Last Bison there.
Yeah, they go all the way to like the most popular, like Day to Remember has played there, and then they'll have local bands like the Last Bison that aren't well known everywhere else.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say, but if you want some, there you go. There's your switch foot right there.
There they are.
See, we got Palm. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. There you go. Head in the Heart. There you go.
That's crazy.
Yep. Awesome. All right, cool. Let's go on to the next one here. All right. Granby Theater. So this, if you're into plays and, oh, sorry, that website caught me off guard. I've been here a couple times. I've actually never gone to see a play here. However, I have gone several times for events and like parties. And this is a great spot if you're going to like host a party or have a good time. Like this is going to be a great place to go.
They have a church in here as well.
Do they have a church that they host in there? That's pretty fantastic. But if you're looking for productions, this is a great place to go. Absolutely. I feel like I'm not going to do Granby Theater justice. They probably have more there than Pixels and Pints. I don't know if I would have picked this one, Sean, but that's okay. If you're a nerd like me and you, well, right next door is also a really good place, and you want a place as an adult to go play video games and drink and eat bar food, there's probably not very many places quite like this. You've got pinball. They've got old classic games, new games. It's, I would say, reasonable in price. It's not the cheapest place, but, decent food, great environment, and a ton of games. So I've actually gone here with my kids. And I would say, if you're going to go with kids, go earlier. After about 7, 8 o'clock at night, it turns into a young adult like environment. And you're not going to want to have your kids there, in my opinion.
I would shout out Circuit Social too, is another one down on Granby there.
Mm-hmm. I've been here like 3 or 4 times.
That whole Granby area, if you go down towards MacArthur, which isn't on this list, but I don't know. MacArthur was one that originally the AI that made this list for me had on there, and I didn't think MacArthur was worthy. So,
all right, is that the end of the list? All right, cool. Let me do a real quick here at the end. I just want to real quick go into a real quick shift into market. So if you're tuning in and you're looking at buying or selling, there you go. 2 people dropped off immediately. But let me, I'm doing this mostly so.
Your mom there. I gotta talk up if I'm gonna talk there.
Okay, there you go, Sean. All right, so just very, very quick, I want to show you something that's going on in the market. I think we are in this position where the market is going to slow down as we head into the winter. Now, I don't want that to concern anybody. That happens every single year. Every single year, right around the August timeframe is when things tend to slow down. So if I go over here and I look at, we'll use median sales price, because what you'll see is this seasonality effect where winters tend to be low and summers tend to be high. But what you'll see is once the high happens at 6, 7, 8 timeframe is when they start to come down towards the winter. And as you can kind of see, I would call this at our office just recently. I said, hey, look, I guarantee you it's going to come down. And it has. It's already started to come down. My guess is that we're probably going to bottom out somewhere in the average of 325, and then we'll go back up the next year. But this is something I want you to pay attention to, because I tend to watch this on a weekly basis. So if I go over here, and we go down to weekly statistics or weekly trends, there are three things I want to kind of really pay attention to. What is going on with sales price? And you'll see these jumps from week to week, but you can see we kind of peaked out right here. And I would, venture to guess that we're probably going to see this similar trend, because this is about the same time next year. We're going to see a slow trickle down all the way to probably January, and then it'll probably pick right back up into the same trend. And that happens every single year. So just to prep people, if you're looking at selling, now really is if you want to optimize. I'm not saying that you can't get a good price during the winter, because you can, especially if you do the right things in the right order, but we'll cover that on a different episode. But your peak season is during the summer. That happens every single year. Another one you'll see is median days on market. This happens the same thing. You saw it go up towards winter, and then immediately right around January, it plummeted and came down. You can see that we were actually at 9 days on market here in May, and it's slowly come up. Now, what's really interesting about this is when we see 14 days on market or 13 days on market, some people are like, oh my gosh, things are slowing down, or they're going to slowing down drastically. Even in early January at 29, if you go back to 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you'll see that the average days on market for most price points was between 30 and 60 days. So this is not that surprising. You don't need to be freaking out if your house hasn't sold in a week or two. The days of COVID they're not here anymore. Sorry, they don't exist. At 7% interest rates, you don't have people banging down your doors like you did at 3% when you had a bunch of people that could qualify for homes. So if you're a buyer in today's market, be patient, because the biggest thing that you're up against is low inventory. You want to now if it's we every single week in the office we talk about hey, what went on the market, what's going on in the market, what are you guys seeing in showings? So we have a very collaborative office. We talk about this stuff all over and over again. There are homes that still today get multiple offers on them. They are staged, or they look great and they're priced right? And you'll get multiple offers. But if it's an okay property, if you slightly overprice it, if it doesn't show the best, it might sit for 2 or 3, 4 weeks. And I would encourage you as a seller that you may just have to consider the offer that comes through and ask for some closing cost assistance, which is money out of your pocket. If you're looking to make a move to the area and you need some advice on where to move, that's what we do here on a day-to-day basis. We'd love to hear from you. Schedule some time down in the link below in the description. If you're looking at making a sell and you want to optimize, you want to try to get as much money in your pocket as possible, there are proven, repeatable systems and tactics to do that. And that's, I would say, what we specialize in, including doing really good listing tours. I have Sean, who's an amazing videographer, and we have a really good editor, King, who does an amazing job, and he's gotten nothing but better over the last few years. Kudos to you, man. You've done a great job. Super proud to have you on the team. And we can give you exposure, not like every agent can, because not every team has a videographer and editing team. So well done, Sean. And a YouTube channel, so some of our videos have a couple hundred views. That's almost like a separate MLS. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, cheers.